Hey YouTube, it's Kara. I'm sorry I haven't made a book related video for a while. It's been really busy, but I'm finally getting around to it and doing my book review over Scott Westerfeld's Leviathan. So let me just jump right into it. Alright, so as I just mentioned, the book I'm reviewing is Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. This is the first in a trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. I'm not sure if there's going to be a fourth one. I should probably have researched that before, but I forgot. But the second book is Behemoth, and the third is Goliath. So, um, yeah. So let me go ahead and get into what this book is about. First of all, it is 440 pages. So it's kind of a thick read, not really, because there are pictures in it. For instance, the first picture is of Europe, and it is like of Europe, and it's really cool. Like I don't know, you can't really see it on the camera. It's all mechanical and animals. That makes plenty of sense because of what the book's about. Which is what it's about is well, first I'm getting all messed up because I've had such a crazy but first, this book is a steampunk novel, and if you do not know what a steampunk novel is, it's basically a novel that takes place in the past but has futuristic technology. I believe that's the definition of it. Um, and so what this book is about, well, it takes place during World War One, and it has two main characters, Darren and Alec, and it kind of each two chapters, I believe, switches viewpoint. So two chapters will be from Darren's point of view, and the next two chapters will be from Alec's point of view. And the storyline is Alec is the Prince of Austria-Hungary, and his parents, the Archduke and Duchess, were the ones who were assassinated right in the beginning of World War One, and he is whisked away to be protected because there's a war that is breaking out. So that's his story. And then Darren is a girl who is pretending to be a boy and wants to be a soldier, particularly like in the air, work on airplanes because she's really like good with aircraft. So that's pretty much the premise of where the story starts. But a really cool thing that not David, I'm thinking of David Leviathan because I was just looking at his book. Scott Westerfeld, what he did was he kind of incorporated really cool creatures, and his imagination is brilliant in this book. So Britain, where Darren is from, is they're Darwinists, which basically means that they took DNA, Darwin, and they created animals and creatures that can do the work for them. So they fly in giant, almost like a dirigible kind of a blimp that's a whale, and like loads of different animals. It's really cool. There's a picture in here somewhere, but and then Alec and Austria-Hungary and kind of those areas are more, they're called clankers, and they're more mechanical people. So it's kind of like the two are opposites, and their worlds don't mesh. But then in the book, Alec and Darren meet, so they do mesh, and it's really cool to see how they interact, living so separate lives and whatever. Okay, so now that I got the synopsis out of the way, it's actually really, really cool. I probably didn't give it justice. Oh, Darren wants to go to the British Air Service. That's what it's about. Let me go ahead and talk about the positive and negatives. Okay, so I have a little list here in case you can't tell. Sticky notes for the win. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to mention was the imagination that went into this book is phenomenal. He creates machinery that I couldn't even dream of. I'm trying to find a picture. There's a picture in here, and it's really cool. Okay. So that's a Stormwalker, I believe is what it's called. And it's really awesome. And Scott Westerfeld, of course, wrote the Uglies series, and I've read Uglies, and I know how imaginative he can be. But this book really did blow me away with all the new things that he incorporated into it. So it was kind of like, I love, of course, adventure books. It was like going on an adventure and learning new things, and he created cuss words that are really fun. So I thought that was really cool. Next, his world building. but then that kind of ties into the imaginative aspect of it. But his world building was really cool because you felt like you knew where Alec and Darren were coming from because you knew kind of what life they lived, and just the entire storyline. At times it could drag a little bit, just a little bit, but other than that, I don't know how I got into plot. Wow. I'm just so scatterbrained today. I don't know if you guys can tell. Um, okay, so I also want to talk about character development. Like I said, the characters really, you could feel um, their decisions that they made, I really agreed with. And I didn't think that, because sometimes when an author writes from two different perspectives, they kind of mesh together. Like if you didn't know who was talking, you wouldn't know who was talking. But that didn't happen in this book, which I'm really glad, because Scott Westerfield actually gave different personalities to each of his characters, which is obviously what he is supposed to do, I guess. But he did a really good job, and I didn't feel like the characters were the same person, which sometimes I have felt in a certain series that I can't say because I'll probably get yelled at. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to say is this book is what I would call a boy book, which is awesome because YA recently doesn't have a lot of boy books, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of not okay, because I know some guys who love to read and they just sometimes don't want to read romances and paranormal. So if you're a boy and you're watching this, read Leviathan because it's really cool. Okay, so after all the positive things that I said, I have only one negative thing to say, and it's really not that bad. But I feel like after Alec finds out that his parents were assassinated, he never really mourns. Like Scott Westerfield mentions how he tears up, or he's like numb because he can't imagine, like he's just so in shock, but he never really cries, like not cries as in like, oh, I'm so sad, but you can't really. I remember just reading halfway through the book and thinking, oh yeah, his parents died, like I completely forgot. And maybe it'll turn up in the second book, maybe because it just hasn't hit him yet, because he is, of course, on this crazy adventure, so he probably doesn't have time to think about his parents. But I still kind of wanted to touch on that topic a little bit, because I mean, if my parents died, I would probably just be a wreck. And he really wasn't a wreck. He was a wreck a little bit, but not as much as I thought he would be, which is probably just my personal opinion. But other than that, this book was awesome. I gave Leviathan a B. So, yes. It's a very heavy book. And also, I didn't get the hardcover version, so when I put it down, it does this, which is super annoying. I hate that. But yeah, so it was really, really good. Really good. And just as always, what I'm reading now, which I completely forgot to bring into my little sister's room, is Wither by Maggie DiStefano, or DiStefano. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. But so yeah, I'm on page 100 or so of that, and I will be reviewing that soon. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Sorry that I have not posted a video in a while. Like I said, crazy busy. I have to go holiday shopping. Holiday shopping. But anyway, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I didn't even ask. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Leviathan, or what you guys do think about Wither, or whatever you guys think in general. Just chit chat. Okay, bye.